So just like we did with cubic functions, we're going to translate exponential functions as well. Now this exponential graph here is on your formula sheet on the first page, and the graphical transformations is down the bottom of the first page. They are the same ones that we used for cubics. Okay, so they work for all of them. It's just a bit of practice knowing what applies to what when the function looks a bit different. So I've written a question here that's very similar to one that you get in an assessment. It says write down the function found if y equals 2 to the power of x is translated 5 units upwards, translated 2 units to the right, and reflected in the y-axis. Okay, so that's a typical question you'll get. You'll get kind of an easy exponential, and you'll have to move it around and find the equation. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to break this up into a couple of different parts. Now I can see 5 units upwards. That's one kind of instruction. Translated 2 units to the right is another instruction, and reflected in the y-axis is another one. Okay, so I've got 3 different things that I have to do to this equation. So I'm going to start off with the first one. So y equals 2x is translated 5 units upwards. Okay, so I'm going to go through this list and I'm going to see what that kind of looks like. That's reflecting, dilating, going left, going up. Okay, so this one here is moving upwards. So that changes k. Now, in our cubics unit, k was part of the point of inflection. Here, k is the asymptote. Okay, and the asymptote is the k off the end. So my function has now changed to y equals 2 to the power of x plus 5. Okay, that'll move my whole function up 5 places, 5 units. Okay, let's try the next one. It is translated 2 units to the right. So we're going to look again, reflection, dilation, translated to the left. Okay, but it's not translated to the left, it's translated to the right, which means we're going to have to do the opposite. So where it says H there, we're going to have to go the other way. This is where it gets a little bit confusing because as you can see, there's no H there. Okay, but if you look here, it's in brackets. H is right next to the X. And here's our X here, so H is going to go up there with it. So it's going to be y equals 2 to the power of x. We're going 2 units to the right. This is going to the left, so we're going to go -2 plus 5. Okay, so you can see here from the brackets, the h goes with the x very closely, so it goes up in the power. We've got one left. We've got reflected in the y-axis. So we're going to have a look. The y-axis is here. Okay, and we change the y-axis by putting a negative directly in front of the x. So let's try that. So we've got y equals 2, we've got a negative x minus 2 plus 5. Okay, so we're doing our translation just the same as cubics. You've just got to be really careful that you're putting the h and the k and the negatives where they need to go. Okay, so let's have a look now at calculator usage. So I've got a couple of exponential graphs here. I'm just going to grab my calculator. And we're graphing for this one. So we're going to go to the graph and tab one, which is here on mine. It will look a little different on yours. Okay, so I'm going to graph it first, and then I'm going to show you some of the functions we typically use. So I'm just going to type it in as it is. 10 to the power of brackets 2 minus x, close brackets, plus 5. I'm going to tick it to make sure it graphs it, and graph. Can't really see that there, so I'm going to go zoom auto. It's a bit better, but I still want to zoom in. So these arrows out here, I'm going to make my x maximum, I don't know, 5. We'll see how that works. Looks a little better. We could even go in a little bit more. Okay, so my exponential function there. So if you were going to sketch the graph, you just copy that off and don't forget your points. Remember, we have to find three main things for exponential functions: y-intercept, asymptote, and one other point. So to find the y-intercept, we're going to go up to analysis, g-solve, y-intercept. Very similar to all our other units. So the y-intercept here is at 105, down the bottom there. Okay, asymptotes you can see by looking at it there. It would help if I put that at 0. You can see there that the asymptote is at 5, or you can just look at k. So that's one not very hard to find. Just look at the number on the end. Finding another point, though, can be difficult. So what we're going to do, we're going to pick a value for x, and we're going to find out what y is at that point. So it starts here at 0. I'd try to get it somewhere in there. So I'm going to use x equals 1, which should be about there. So I'm going to go again, analysis, g-solve. I've got a value for x. I want to find the value of y. I want to calculate a y value. So that's this one here. And the x value is going to be 1. When x is 1, y is 15. Okay, so you can use that for a whole range of things. Wrong way around. You could find when x is 2, y is 6. Okay, you could, if you weren't sure about the asymptote, keep going. What about when x is 6? Oh, I haven't zoomed out enough there. So it'll keep going closer and closer to 5, but it will never hit 5 because the asymptote never gets touched by the function. So, sorry, this screen is so little. Y calc. So when x is 5, the y is 5.001. Okay, so the further along you go, you'll get closer and closer to the asymptote, but it will never go past it. Okay, so if you go right over to 10, it would probably round it just to be 5, but know that it's 5.000000 something. Okay, let's try a different function. I'll just untick that one, but leave it there. This one is 2 times 5 to the power of x over 2. And I'm going to graph that. It's going the other way. I'm going to zoom in. I don't really like the auto zoom, but it does find it for you. Okay, and I'm just going to bring y back to 0 so we can see a bit of the asymptote. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to find the y-intercept. Analysis, g-solve, y-intercept. So the y-intercept here is at 2. Our asymptote is obviously 0 because there's no k. And we're also going to find another point. So here, our window goes from 0 to 10. Okay, so we're going to find somewhere along there, maybe 8. Analysis g-solve y calc when x equals 8. Okay, y equals 1,250. So you can pick anything for that other point, anything you want. Try and get it somewhere that shows the graph kind of taking off. Try not to put it too close to the asymptote, but where the curve hits. But other than that, you can pick whatever number you want. All right, we'll do one last one. 3 times 4 to the power of x plus 2. Okay, analysis, g-solve, y-intercept. Y-intercept's at 5. Analysis, g-solve, y calc when x is 1. Y is 14. And our asymptote is 2. Okay, so when you're doing these, when you're graphing exponential functions and that kind of thing, have a go at checking your own answers using your calculator. It's really good practice.
Hey you, if I came into your house right now and dumped this garbage on your bedroom floor, what you gonna do about it? Beat me up? Shoot me? Have me arrested? One thing's for sure, for years you be telling people about the guy that had the nerve to come into your house and dump garbage on your bedroom floor. But think about this. Every day we allow and even encourage people to dump garbage into our minds and into our lives. See, contrary to popular belief, you don't just consume nutrients through food by way of your mouth. You also consume through your eyes and through your ears. You ever wonder why you're feeling negative or angry? It's because your input determines your output. The garbage that you listen to on the radio, the trash you see on TV, the bullshit that you hear from the people that you hang out with, it rubs off on you. Everybody talks about GMOs. Stay away from GMOs. Well, stay away from the human GMOs, the greedy, the miserable, the obnoxious. These people are toxic. They drain you. They complain. They remind you of your mistakes. They tear you down. They gossip. They aren't there for you when you need them. And some of these people are even in your family. But these aren't necessarily evil people. They're just trapped in a cycle themselves. But that's their problem, not yours. You can't fix them. You have to fix yourself and become an example for them. So politely, just give yourself some space from these people, or else you're gonna end up just like them. You keep hanging out with losers, you're gonna wind up picking up the qualities of a loser. Hang out with people that encourage you and empower you to become the best version of yourself. You deserve that. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to be you. So figure out what you want out of life, because you're gonna be the only one with you for the rest of it. Life is short, and as a wise woman once said, fake friends, negative friends, ain't nobody got time for that. Peace.